Ambassador Zethkari had always prided himself on his ability to read the political currents of the Galactic Council. For 3 centuries, he had navigated the intricate web of alliances and rivalries that governed the 47-member species. But as he watched the holographic vote tally climb steadily toward unanimous approval, a cold dread settled in his chest. The motion to authorize military intervention against the Sol system passes with 46 votes in favor, announced Supreme Counselor Vex Thara, her crystalline voice echoing through the vast chamber. The humans will be brought to heel. Only Zethkari had abstained. His people, the Cathani, had made first contact with humanity barely 2 decades ago, and unlike the other council species, they had actually bothered to study these strange bipeds beyond their technological assessments. The justification was simple, or so the council believed. Humanity had been broadcasting into space for over a century, revealing their location to any species capable of detecting electromagnetic signals. When they finally achieved faster-than-light travel 18 months ago, their first action was to establish a research station in the Alpha Centauri system, dangerously close to several council trade routes. "They're expanding too quickly," had argued the hegemony representative. "Uncontrolled growth is a cancer that must be excised." "Their military broadcasts show constant warfare among themselves," the collective speaker had added. "Imagine what they'll do to us once they develop proper weapons." What none of them understood, what Zethkari had tried desperately to explain, was that humanity's internal conflicts had forged something unprecedented in the galaxy, a species that viewed total war not as a last resort, but as an art form. The invasion fleet departed 3 days later. 12 dreadnoughts, 47 heavy cruisers, and supporting vessels from the combined Council Navy. Admiral Korexval commanded from the flagship Righteous Purpose, confident that humanity would surrender once they witnessed the overwhelming technological superiority arrayed against them. Zethkari monitored the communications from his private vessel, trailing the fleet at a safe distance. He had sent warnings to Earth through encrypted channels, though he doubted the humans would heed them. In his experience, they rarely backed down from impossible odds. The first sign that something was wrong came when the fleet reached the Sol system's edge. Long-range sensors detected no human ships, no defensive installations, no orbital platforms. Earth hung in space like a blue-green jewel, seemingly defenseless. "Perhaps they've seen sense and evacuated," Admiral Korexval transmitted to his captains. "Maintain formation and advance to optimal bombardment range." That's when the humans revealed their hand. The attack came from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Human ships materialized from behind asteroids, from within the shadow of gas giants, from the cold depths of space where their heat signatures had been masked by sophisticated countermeasures. But these weren't the crude vessels the Council had expected based on their intelligence reports. The humans had been busy. Their ships were smaller than the Council dreadnoughts, but they moved like hunters. Where Council vessels relied on massive energy shields and thick armor plating, human ships danced through space with impossible agility, striking with pinpoint precision before vanishing into the void. Admiral Korexval watched in growing horror as his flagship sensors registered weapons that shouldn't exist. Kinetic projectiles accelerated to significant fractions of light speed. Electromagnetic pulse warheads that fried electronics through supposedly impenetrable shielding. And something new. Missiles that seemed to learn and adapt with each strike, their artificial intelligence improving in real time. "How is this possible?" he demanded of his tactical officer. "They achieved FTL barely 2 years ago." The answer came from an intercepted human transmission, broadcast on all frequencies in dozens of languages. "You came to our home. You threatened our children. Did you really think we'd sit idle while you voted on our extinction?" The human fleet commander's voice was calm, almost conversational. "I'm Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. We've been monitoring your council for some time now. Your secret communications are surprisingly easy to decrypt once you understand the mathematical principles behind them." The truth hit Admiral Korexval like a physical blow. The humans hadn't been expanding recklessly. They'd been gathering intelligence. Their research station at Alpha Centauri hadn't been about exploration. It had been about watching the Council's trade routes, learning their patterns, studying their technology. "You want to see what humans do to those who threaten their home?" Admiral Chen's voice carried across the void as human ships systematically dismantled the Council fleet. "We don't just fight back. We learn, we adapt, we improve, and then we make sure the threat never rises again. The battle was over in 6 hours. Of the 12 Council dreadnoughts, only 3 limped away from the system, their crews traumatized and their ships barely functional. The rest were either destroyed or captured, their crews taken prisoner but treated with the strange human concept of mercy, even toward those who had come to commit genocide. But the humans weren't finished. Admiral Chen's final transmission reached every Council world simultaneously, broadcast through hijacked communication networks. The Galactic Council voted to invade our system. 46 species decided that humanity should be eliminated. We find this unacceptable. What followed became known as the Month of Ashes in Council histories. Human fleets moving with coordinated precision that spoke of decades of planning struck simultaneously at military installations across 17 different star systems. They didn't target civilian populations, that wasn't the human way. Instead, they systematically dismantled every naval shipyard, weapons research facility, and military command center within 50 light-years of Earth. The message was clear: humanity could reach anyone, anywhere, at any time. Ambassador Zethkari watched from his hidden observation post as human ships reduced the hegemony's primary naval base to scrap metal. The humans had somehow managed to turn the Council's own defensive systems against them, using captured technology and their frightening ability to reverse engineer alien science in mere weeks rather than years. When the attack stopped, the galaxy had changed forever. The Council's military power lay in ruins, but the humans made no move to conquer or occupy. Instead, they sent a simple message to every surviving Council world. Earth is now a protectorate of the Terran Defense Force. Any future aggressive action against humanity or our allies will result in the complete annihilation of the aggressor's military capability. We're not interested in ruling you. We're busy exploring the galaxy and would prefer to do so in peace. But if you threaten our home again, there won't be enough left of your civilization to remember why you made that mistake. The Galactic Council still met, but its chambers were notably quieter these days. 46 species had learned a harsh lesson about the dangers of threatening a species that had spent its entire evolutionary history perfecting the art of warfare. Only Zethkari had abstained from that fateful vote. His people now enjoyed a privileged trade relationship with humanity, serving as intermediaries between the humbled council and the species that had reminded the galaxy of an ancient truth. It's not the size of the predator that matters. It's how efficiently it hunts.